Yeah, I'll do a YouTube video of it.
Nice.
And so, let me see here. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Well, that'll be good enough. All right. I think it's going. I don't know if it's going or not. Yeah, it's going. All right. I'm ready when you are.
All right.
Believe it or not.
Let me just set up right quick.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, don't worry about it. I'll start the show, and when you're ready, I'll bring you in.
Well, it'll only be 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. God, what is going on? All right, I'm back.
Welcome, everyone, to the show. I'm your host, Don Vic. You already know what it is and what it should be and what it could be. Today, we got a special guest coming on the show. Singer, songwriter, great guy. Got plenty of music. Country music at that. Love some country music. And this guy is amazing. Okay, by the name of Garrett Walker. He'll be coming on the show in a few seconds. So before we start the show, I just want to thank all the viewers that support the Don Vic Show and share the show. Also, want to shout out Celebrity Boxing, Damon Feldman, all the celebrity boxers. Remember to come out October 15th to Atlantic City. Come out and watch the fight. My brother, two-time champion Hazel Roche will be fighting that night. We got young CEO fighting for a title. We also have Brian Delton versus John Dams Jr. Middleweight, heavyweight fight will be happening on October 15th. My brother, Mr. Picard, will be fighting as well. It's going to be great, guys. So if you're in Atlantic City, you're in the area, want to see a fight, come down to Atlantic City. You can go on the celebrityboxing.com and purchase your ticket, or you can go to pay-per-view and watch the fight. You guys already know I'll be in the building with my team, and we'll be recording the fight and maybe get some people on our show and give them an interview while we're there. So, people, we're going to bring in Mr. Garrett Walker, singer, songwriter, and we're going to talk to him and find out exactly what he got going on today and what he's doing for the future. So, people, please welcome Mr. Garrett Walker to the show.
Hey, guys.
Buddy.
Hey, man. What's going on, Big Daddy?
I'm turned up today. I'm happy it got me a country singer down the show.
Yeah, both kinds of music, country and western.
Okay. I love it both. I love it. So, I was doing some research on you, and first of all, I want to thank Shelby Crawford and Charlotte Hug for making this happen for us.
Yes.
Two great, amazing people.
They really are. Shelby is an angel on earth, if you only knew. Go ahead.
So, I just want to thank them for making this happen for us. I really appreciate them both. Welcome Lawrence Monroe to the show. He's one of the viewers. So, Garrett, tell us how it all began for you. How did you get into the country music? How did that all start?
My mother and father were both country music singers, and they had a band. My father was a bass player, and he sang, great singer. And then my mother, she recorded records and a good writer. I really didn't like country music, but I used to sing AC/DC and all that stuff. Anyway, everything I sang and wrote came out country, so I traded my tennis shoes in for cowboy boots, and it's been hell ever since. But it's good now.
Okay. How difficult was it for you to get into the industry?
Man, I just started when I was 15 years old. I started playing at Marty's Barbecue, and I just kept on playing. And as far as getting into the music, I did after probably about 15 years in Kansas. I heard about this TV show called the Nashville Network, and the Charlie Daniels Talent Roundup on TNN. And so me and my dad went to Nashville from Kansas, and in a big old tank, funky Catalina. Anyway, we went there, and I did an opening show for Charlie Daniels, and that was it. I had a new girlfriend and just broke up or divorced my wife. Anyway, I had a new girlfriend, a hottie back in Kansas. But I said, man, it got in me, the music, Nashville. So I turned right around. For this show, I got about 4 or 5 sets of clothes and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I took everything back, and I'm an artist. And I worked at Jostin's American Yearbook and had a great job. I was young, and I was creative resources instead of just one of the... Anyway, so I got my last check, and they said, you can't believe it. And I just had the job about a year or so. Anyway, I cashed my clothes in, got my last check, and I told all my family and friends, I'm going to Nashville. And that was in '95. And it wasn't... It was very, very difficult. The guy that said I could stay with him, he didn't realize I was turning around and coming right back, and he went out on the road for 6 months. So, but hey, it's kind of like this. If you plan to fail, well, you might no. If you fail to plan, you might as well fail to plan or plan to fail. I get that out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I just stayed at it. His name was Roger. Oh, I forgot his last name. Great artist, but nevertheless, and that was in '95, and I just started playing the bars right off the bat, and it was in Nashville, kind of a joke. You know what? Let me say. What do you call a Nashville singer-songwriter? Oh gosh. How do you meet what do you call a Nashville singer-songwriter on your porch? Anyway, thanks for the pizza. What do you call a Nashville singer-songwriter that loses his girlfriend? Homeless. So, we're just everywhere. It doesn't matter. And so, I'm a designer, and I design T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So I got into screen printing, and there's so many, 8 nights a week and 8 days a week. There's a singer-songwriter showcases going on right now. And it's almost 24/7. There used to be a place called Hoppers, and they'd stay open 24 hours a day. But nevertheless, so my name is next, because when you'd go to a songwriter's open a songwriter's night, who are you? Well, my name is Next. I'm next. So yeah, it was. I'm telling you, it was Sometimes chasing my dream was a nightmare. I helped the homeless out quite a bit, and that made me homeless. And now this was over probably a span of 10 years, and just so I was only homeless for about a day or day and a half, and I always give everything to God, and I always pray to Him, and I found out that rock bottom has a basement, and but they say, I've always said a bad day is a good song, and they say I've got a few good songs, so do the math. But I told God, I didn't ask Him. I said, dude, you got to get me out of here now. And for some reason, I called this guy. He came to mind, and he was over there within 15 minutes, and I was in a house, a really nice house in Franklin, Tennessee, right south where all the rich people were at. And I was at a house there, and I gave it all, and I still give it all to God. I'm a believer. I drink that Kool-Aid. So.
Right. So I just want to thank all my viewers from Nashville. You know, big shout out to Nashville. Big shout out to Texas. You know, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Which country singer you think holds the largest record indoor concert in North America?
Well, he's probably not country anymore. You know, country isn't country music anymore. Nashville isn't Nashville anymore. So, you know, I'm like a tree. I don't have to stay there. I can move. So I moved. But I think today's country, I think you're talking about Chris Stapleton or Luke Combs. Those guys are, but I don't think that's really country music, but it's great music. There's a lot of people, this ain't country music. You know, it's like Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean. Yeah, but look at their hits. They got 600 million views. So, I mean, so I would say right now it would be Chris Stapleton, Jamie Johnson, Luke Combs, and those guys.
Luke Combs.
He writes all that stuff too. Right. Co-writes it. Anyway.
Yeah. I know another country singer by the name of Josh Scott. I don't know if you know Josh Scott. I believe he's from Arizona. But what
I don't.
You're both over 6 feet. Like you're like 6'4". How do you walk into your front door?
Well, the house that I live, they're 10-foot doors. So yeah, so I don't have to worry about that too much. And but yeah, 6'4", and I got a gig tonight. No rush. I'm gonna have a great time with a lot of guys. Do some new music, and so yeah. I was in Nashville quite a while, and I met a gal, and I hooked up with her, and I moved to Kentucky. It's about 60, 70 miles away, and it was horrible. It was just horrible. And so I wanted to get back to Nashville. I moved to Kentucky to be with her and help her with some health issues. Right. And plus I was almost homeless again. So anyway, I got out of there and I went to Nashville, and it was, I went to, while I was in Kentucky, I have a Garrett Walker Graphics Illustrated. That's a company that I have. It's Graphics Illustrated. And so I'm like, God, I got to do something to make more money, because I was working, at a sweatshop making T-shirts, and so I put my graphics on there. Hey, if you need any graphics, any logos, a picture drawn, whatever, let me know. Well, this J. Raleigh Jones, he's on Facebook, and God, you ought to get him on here as well. He is J. Raleigh Jones. He's an angel on earth. Anyway, so he responded to my needing a logo, and his band was called the Music City Slickers. Then the J. Raleigh Jones Show. He's on TV. He's got a TV show. It's on Roku and that kind of stuff. He's got, but J. Raleigh Jones and all of his guys, Bo Stoudemire, just so many of them. There's just Tom Campbell. There are a bunch of older guys, but man, I love to hear older guys play music because they do it right and they do it the good way. And so I was, I said, well, I'd like to get back to Nashville. He goes, well, I got a room upstairs. And sure enough, man, he came and got me, put all my stuff in his car, and took me back to Nashville. I got another job screen printing shirts, and I did tons of designs for him. And I just did one for the Cowboy Church, Nashville Cowboy Church. And I did their logo and their backdrops for all that. I designed this stuff, you know. I got a shirt of me on the front. My wife was like, you need to. my deal is, my way didn't work, so I'll do it her way. So.
Right. They win all the time. The time.
But he's got J. Raleigh Jones. I'm telling you what, if you go to his page, you will. He's got magazines that's like 80 different countries and just unbelievable stuff. And he's just an angel on earth. He really is. Just a really, really great guy.
So, besides you writing your own material, you also sing music from other artists like Hank Williams, Alan Jackson, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. I do Hank Williams Sr. I do Don Gibson. Everybody's going out and having fun. The old lonesome me. So yeah, I love that. I love the old school country. That's just, country ain't country anymore. It's pop music with a fiddle. As Georgette Jones, who's a really good friend of mine as well. Georgette Jones, I don't know if you're aware of that name, but George Jones and Tammy Wynette, their only child was Georgette. She's a good friend, a great artist. Her husband plays for Easton Corbin, and he's got some great songs. So I'm just waiting my turn.
Right. So it's funny. It's funny how I looked at it and said Leonard Skinner. I'm working on something with some people.
Aren't we all?
That are going to do something for Leonard Skinner, the band.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Might bring them aboard the show. So.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be something very interesting. So new Leonard Skinner fans, tune in on the Don Vic Show September 2nd. I'm going to have something very, very special for the viewers.
That'll be awesome.
And for everyone else that knows about Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, we just came back from their crash site where the airplane actually went down, and it was in Mississippi. And we actually also went to where they first started out in Florida, and Ronnie Van Zant Memorial Park. And then we went to the crash site in Mississippi, and I actually there's a video of me singing one of their songs in front of the monuments that are just like probably 15, 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide and this thick, and it's just amazing. And yeah, that's what I was raised up on is you know how you go to the bars and everybody always screams out "Freebird"?
Yeah.
Well, I got a song. I used to scream "Freebird," but now I'm wailing Haggard and Jones. instead of screaming, I'm wailing out. Anyway, go ahead.
So, what is the message that you want to send out to the people through your music?
Really just to know that there's I'm an ordained minister. I don't pound the Bible, and to become certified, it's kind of a joke, but I like to when I talk, I feel like it's God talking to you through me. And when I sing a song, it's God singing to you through me. And I'm not making myself all godly and making, like I'm all that in a bag of chips. Because I'm not, He is. But I'm not. But I want to, my songs to send an uplifting message. Gary Beard is an amazing writer. And, I actually went to rehab one time, and I got out and I found God. It's kind of like I always say, you need to find God because He obviously can't find you. Well, I found Him, and I went to rehab, and I just gave it all to God. And He goes, well, so now you have all these spiritual songs. Are you wanting to go stay mainstream country, or you wanting to go Christian, inspirational? I says, I just want to let everybody know that He's the reason. He says, okay. Gary Beard, amazing writer. And he says, okay, he goes, do you think that I believe in God? And he's the one that really helped me, bring me to God. There's a book called Conversations with God. It's amazing. Anyway, he goes, do you think I believe in God? I said, yeah. He says, so when you listen to my songs, do you feel like there's a presence of God there? And I said, yeah. And he goes, do you ever hear me mention His name? I'm like, no. He has this one, I thought it was about, it's called High on You. I once was a drinker, almost an abuser. But then the chorus is, I'm high on you, I'm never coming down. High on you, I'm never. And really, I thought that was about a woman. It's about God. It's about God. So that's where I just want to get the field, be an inspiration. And with my story, I don't know why God has blessed me the way He has, but He has. And so,
what would you say what would you say was the best thing that ever happened to you?
Well, number one, obviously, is God. Number two is my wife, Patsy. And she's just, I live in God's grace. We all do, every single day. And I don't mean to keep going on and on about God, but it's just the truth. And, it's kind of like George Carlin said, okay, so this guy you can't see, he's invisible, and you're supposed to believe in Him? Well, you know what? Air is believable. We can't see it, but we need it. So that's just, whether it's God or not, it's a powerful force, I feel. But the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life is truly my wife. And first of all, is God.
Right. So, you wrote a song. We spoke about it. We was on the phone, and I listened to the song yesterday, and it brought tears to my eyes because it's a very, very touchy song. The lyrics, reminded me that, and it brought me back to my parents because I lost both my parents.
Me too.
And yeah. And the song is called The Clouds.
In the Clouds. Uh-huh.
Listen, I don't know what state of mind you was on that day when you wrote it, or
I'll tell you.
What you was going through when you wrote it, but that's a beautiful song.
It's amazing. And it's like I very often say, I held the pen that wrote that song, but I swear it wasn't me. And I'm going to give you some, people do some research, so you ain't got to dig too deep, find dirt on me. But I'm just, I'm as real, you might as well be real because, so I was actually in jail when I wrote that. I had this little transistor radio, and I always listened to Jerry House and the House Foundation, 96.8, the big 98. And in Nashville with Devin O'Day and all those. And anyway, he comes on there and he says, Mike Bohan, the sidekick, is saying, had some kind of idea about something. And Jerry says, oh, that's in the clouds. And he was always on from 5 in the morning till 10 in the morning. And I mean, he made like, he's at $3 million a year just for being a disc jockey. Great writer too, and just a neat guy. But anyway, he said, Monday through Friday, I was on the Big 98 listening to Jerry House and the House Foundation. Well, he said that about, oh, that's in the clouds. I never turned my radio off, and I turned it off. I didn't have a guitar or anything. I just started writing. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get people to look up? And I'm thinking, well, if you get a little boy out there playing with playing catch with his daddy or whatever, and then, so I just playing catch with a little boy. I hit a high pop fly, looking up, trying to find the ball in the sky. He dropped his glove, missed the catch, hollered, hey daddy, wow. Looky there, 'cause I can see Mommy in the clouds. I could have swore Da Vinci painted you with a brush on a canvas that God had given. I was blocking out the sun with someone looking down. I would have bet $1 million bucks that was you looking down. It was. I love that song. I think that's probably the favorite.
I want to play.
There it is.
Playing catch with our little boy. I hit a high pop fly. Looking up and trying to find the ball in the sky. Dropped his glove, missed the catch, hollered, hey daddy, wow. Looky there, I can see Mommy in the clouds. I could have sworn Da Vinci painted you with the brush on a canvas that he borrowed from what God had given us. Blocking out the sun was someone looking down. I would have bet $1 million that was you in the clouds. I taught everyone we knew that didn't live too far, so they could go outside and see exactly where you are. All at once, everyone in our small country town stood there with a picture of you in the clouds. So that song is amazing.
Thank you.
And now you picked up the guitar like you're gonna play me something. You're gonna have to play me something.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Yes, sir.
Like right now?
Like right now.
Okay. I don't know if you heard this one. When I got to Nashville, I had broke down and I was on the wrong side of the tracks. I had one number to call. And he asked me where I was. I didn't even know the guy. It was Gary Beard's good friend, the guy back in Kansas. And I had never met him. He asked me, well, where are you? I started looking around. I said, it looked like I'm on the corner of heaven and hell. Because there was drug dealers, there was prostitutes, and they was selling ice cream.